Oh, hi. Ohio Skibidi Riz.
I will end your fucking life.
You hear that a lot, don't you?
I will end your fucking life.
Is that how kids actually talk? Or is that just like...
Oh, wait, that's a thing?
Is that
You
that
guys-
our age, like, making fun of us? Or making fun of, like, younger kids?
I just sent you guys all the sheet for points.
Beautiful. But what's up, Zach? How goes it? Been a hot minute. A few times, few months. It got dark really quick on Sweaty's stream there.
I was in Utah.
Yeah, but it was like bright a little bit ago. Now it's dark.
Well, there's mountains.
That's the night sky, sir, not like dark from shadows.
Jesus
Well,
Christ, too
either
far.
way.
There's a difference
Too
between
far.
the two.
Not really.
Oh, there
Horizon's just higher.
pretty quiet. Totally business as usual. Okay, first off, when you say totally quiet, are we not loud enough? If that is the case, there's probably something I got to adjust because it's been so long that maybe there's something
He's
wrong.
talking about quiet in MTG this week.
Okay.
That's what he meant.
Uh-huh, sure.
Okay, there we go. I misread that. Yes, it's been a very quiet week in Magic the Gathering.
Has it though?
There hasn't been anything.
Super
We
quiet.
came back at a quiet week, guys.
It happens.
Totally.
Hush, hush, so small.
I haven't heard a peep.
Nothing.
All right.
That's right. I can do this. There we go.
We know what you meant, Zach. Matt didn't.
Yeah, I didn't, and that's my own fault. All right. All right. Jiminy Christmas, this is happening.
FYI, fellas, we shouldn't take anything from hipsters of the coast anymore.
Yeah, because they don't have anything.
They haven't fucking updated. We're shit.
Yes.
They haven't updated since, like, was the last one January?
No, they did something in like February saying, "Hey, we're gonna try maybe like do a thing," and then they just wrote like an article. But they said, if I'm not mistaken, on their article, the article before that, they're like, "We're not going to be making any more content because they're just not pulling enough money or something like that, or they're just busy." Or was it staff? They're not making content.
That's too bad. They always had some bangers once in a while.
They did. Their art stuff was always good. Hey, we got Goose. We got Goose in here.
Goose.
God damn it, Matt. What are you talking about? God damn it, Matt. You already know you got to ask about your views and opinions about pineapple on pizza. Yes. First off, pineapple on pizza, 100% allowed. Saturday nights, we have pizza night at my house, and I always order pepperoni pineapple pizza.
Nice.
At jalapeno.
Sick.
I've been taking off the jalapeno because Hawthorne eats with me as well. He's not a fan of jalapenos.
Can't you do like
Get
half
his
on half?
tolerance up there.
At some point, maybe.
Can't you do like half jalapeno, half without?
I could.
Then you get to have yours.
Or just have it all and then you just take his jalapenos.
You're still going to get jalapeno juice on there.
Yeah.
But that's a low dose of it, though.
Right.
Build up tolerance.
We just had pizza tonight too, but we get buffalo chicken.
Oh, I'd love some buffalo chicken. We gave Hawthorne a piece of jalapeno at one point, fresh jalapeno. Spit it out.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Probably a little spicy. As long as he didn't rub his eyes.
He did not. We were very
That's a win.
on top of that there. But you know what else is spicy? Starting an episode after months of not doing an episode.
Well, yeah, we're on.
Nice.
What's up,
Nice.
Jason?
Start it off, man.
And Zach, we will be going through this very long but short within the main episode. So stick around for the very end because we're doing a special episode. And we'll talk about that for a long time.
So stick tuned if you got nothing else to do this fine Saturday evening.
It's still weird seeing that TV up there now.
I think it's great.
It's great. We needed this since we started.
It's
but
what you guys wanted, and I got it.
I just wish it was
It's
like
what the people want.
54 inches
Oh
instead
my
of
God,
28.
fucking you American.
Yeah,
It needs to be bigger. Pew pew pew.
I mean, it should be bigger.
Ben Matt and his graveyard shit, sir. I love my graveyard.
Don't
shit.
worry, Jason. We do. We do all the time. We smash them for it.
My graveyard shit is the best.
That's why it's shit.
Hey, everybody loves a good Verena deck. The zombies, man. The zombies are here. Matt and his height. Hold on a second. I don't know.
Everyone needs those tall friends to reach the high spaces, Jason.
I grabbed the toilet paper on top for old people, including these two old people.
Just ban Matt.
Stop it.
We've been trying, Jason. We've been trying.
I am like the soul ring in your deck. You can't get rid of me.
He's just part of the meta.
The spirit of the format.
You're the spirit of the format. I'm the soul ring of the deck, though.
Okay, fair
Everybody
enough.
Everybody has a hard time with a soul ring. They're like, it's part of the format. They're fine if they don't want it. Your deck is effectively 98 cards.
Oh boy.
That is what I am.
Anyway, let's actually start this podcast.
Oh boy.
I'm already nib visiting. Oh yeah, speaking of that, I need to make a counter for that.
I need to grab my notepad again here.
Yeah, grab your notepad, old man.
This one. My pen is over there. Because I moved it in the wrong spots. That's how this works.
Oh, look, I'm mad. I'm tall and I can't even fucking reach a pen.
Gosh, man, come on. Learn how to reach. Learn how to reach.
I don't want to knock anything over. I have no problem reaching it.
Yeah, but
I
you're
didn't
tall.
have to worry about
Shouldn't
knocking
matter.
anything over.
You're
Okay.
tall, shouldn't matter.
We're starting the Niv Mizzets. Hello and welcome, Magic Folk, to episode 231 of This Week in MTG, your aggregate news podcast for all things Magic the Gathering. We're your hosts, returning. It's me, Matt. Hi. Over there, we got Danny with his 6-ounce hammer.
Doesn't matter the size. That's how you use the tool.
That is not a literary device of foreshadowing.
No.
No, it is. It's completely a literary device of foreshadowing. Over there, we have the big man himself, Big G.
What's up, everybody?
And Just Anthony.
Always just Anthony.
Just Anthony.
That's right. I'm back.
Just Anthony, just back.
Just back.
And we're glad that you all decided to join us here. We're going to take a moment at the top of the episode to extend the heartfelt thank you to all of you. If you're deciding to come back here, welcome back. It's been so long and stuff. For dear listeners, thank you. I would appreciate you clicking on this episode. That is great. We are grateful for the opportunity to bring you the latest updates, insights, and discussions in the world of Magic the Gathering. Here's to many more episodes and excitement. We need to give a deep appreciation to the patrons of the podcast. Their generous monetary support directly supports and contributes to the growth of this show, which there has not been a lot of growth, and they are aware of that. And so big thank you to Amu, Noah Slade, Nikki Nomad, Christian Barrett, Casey B, Ricky R, Chris O, Ranger Dan, Crazy Mage, and Whack P. If you guys are entertained by or are enjoying the content that we are producing, starting back up here, don't have to be a Patreon. Just go into the podcast app you're using right now to rate and review. Helps tremendously in the forums. It elevates us and stuff. All that subscribe shit there. Easily my favorite way, though, is by word of mouth. Telling your friends, family, playgroup, your LGS rival is awesome. And with that podcast business out of the way, let's just jump into the episode.
Yeah.
Let's go to the breakdown where kind of lay out what we got in this episode here. Starting off, we're going to go over to the event results. We have a new name for this spot, but we haven't come up with a new name. It's no longer going to be the Boggle Desk.
It's retiring, but we're gonna find a better one.
Don't retire the Boggle Desk.
Is Garrett on Pro Boggle Desk?
Yeah, keep the Boggle Desk.
Anthony.
Well, the three of us were talking about not wanting.
I was only going against it because you made it sound like everybody didn't want the Boggle Desk.
No. I said Garrett's the one you'd have to convince.
Oh.
It's a discussion.
Keep the fucking Boggle Desk. It's the Boggle Desk.
Nobody plays
We look
boggles.
like it's.
Nobody plays
I
boggles.
mean, here's the thing. The Boggle Desk is really just a tiny desk that we put on top of our actual desk to keep in memory of JB.
I thought the figurine that Matt got of JB was in remembrance of JB.
There's a little figurine.
No, we got to keep the name too. I mean, it's the Boggle Desk.
It's the Boggle Desk.
The Boggle
Locked.
somehow
Locked in, locked out.
got... Hey, thanks for following us.
Hey.
The Boggle desk got... the Boggle got exiled somehow from the desk, and we just took over the desk.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh. It's got to stick around.
We're now wearing the pants.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Breakdown, Boggle Desk. We got event results that we're going to be talking about here. And then Salt and Sugar Report. That's back, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, it is.
Then we're going to jump into the news section where, believe it or not, light news week. There wasn't much anything. There's nothing to shepherd in our grateful return of podcasting in the world of Magic. We're just like, had time off, and we're like, now seems like a right time, you know? We felt it in our...
the sarcasm.
Felt it in our bones.
No such thing as sarcasm on this podcast.
None whatsoever. We're serious all the time.
So yes, we're going to run over some news there. Got a lot of news quickies for y'all to try and catch up on. And, you know, as the episodes go on, we'll probably be like, oh, yeah, that one time when we were off, this is the thing that led into this thing that is now happening in the future. It'll make sense in the future, so stick tuned for that. Then, after that, we have...
Something.
Is it just going to... Are we going to tongue-in-cheek it here? We're going to be open, honest, the ban restricted?
That's the guy who said he was in charge.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just mentioned it. That's
guy
all.
over here. We're listening to him. And then from
you sent us a healthy document that you said you were reading off of.
Did I?
Yep.
Healthy.
After that, we're going to play our favorite game, the Conjured Currency. The Conjured Currency game, where we play and see who is smarter about card knowledge. This week, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that's for the podcast.
I don't know if anybody's going to be doing well on that. From the Conjured Currency, we're going to be done. Episode's going to be over, and you will hopefully see us in a new scheduling format that we will talk about because we got podcast updates.
Yes.
Starting off with the first one, I guess, we're going to be moving to bi-weekly schedule here to...
Bi-monthly.
Bi-monthly?
Yeah. We're going twice a month,
twice
a week.
Yeah. Bi-monthly.
Oh, yes, bi-monthly. Yes. More episodes for y'all. Not. It's bi-weekly, bi-monthly.
There you go.
Fucking did it again.
Words are hard, guys. Words are hard.
Every other week.
Every other week.
Every other week, you're going to get the full cast.
Yes. But there might be talks of some bonus stuff coming out on the off weeks then. So stick tuned for that. That's kind of locked in there, potentially. You'll see. And that is that update, I guess, schedule-wise. Oh, and clearly, time-wise, for those watching live, it is now Saturday that we're going to be recording these live for everybody.
That's right.
Episodes will be coming out instead of Tuesday, Sunday, and stuff. So, yeah, if you want to watch a live stream, join Saturday nights around 9 o'clock, after 9 o'clock.
Yeah, late night shows now.
Yes.
We're doing late night show on the weekend.
Are we going to be...
Holy shit, it's back to This Week in MTG After Dark.
Yeah.
I know, it's always been after dark.
Thoughtcast is that technically after the dark, but yes.
Are we going to have all names of, like, late night host? Who's Stephen Colbert? Who's Jimmy Kimmel? Who is John Oliver? He's not a late night host. No. Jon Stewart. There we go. Jon Stewart.
And Conan. Don't forget Conan.
Conan.
Yeah.
We'll figure out who of us is that, or you tell us in the chat. So, that's the podcast updates. Let's move over to the Boggle Desk.
Oh, yeah. All right, here at the Boggle Desk, we're going to start off like we usually do with our Salt and Sugar Report. And, Salt. It's been too long since we've had this show going, and it is upsetting. But in reality, it's okay, because summer vacations for families and everybody else is really important, and we do cherish that. So it's kind of nice to do it. I think it was a good choice. Sugar. Like I said, this is going to be quick. Sugar. We're back.
Yep.
We're back like the dinosaurs.
This is the biggest sugary donut that you can expect here.
And Danny has
like one of those ones from the Chinese buffets.
Oh, those are so fucking good. Lucy's.
What are we talking about?
The sugary donuts from the buffets of Chinese.
That's all the kids ever eat.
That's all the kids ever eat. But yeah, no, we're back. And we're excited. We're going to do all the new stuff we're going to try out. We're going to talk about some new things. It's really great. And then to finish off our sugar report, Danny's got a little snippet. What we got, Danny?
Just new PR, I guess, for a Commander game. I dealt over 3,000 damage total. in one cast of a spell that actually didn't do any damage itself.
And
yeah, it was sweet.
Dear audience, we will give you 5 seconds to shout at your podcatcher that you're listening to right now what you think was the card that caused that. What was the card, Danny?
Lightning bolt.
Wow! Copy lightning bolt 50,000 times.
That's pretty good.
Honestly, I forget the card name.
If Danny is able to copy a lightning bolt.
Which card, Danny?
It's the
card that dealt the damage, or the card you cast to do the damage?
The card that cast the card that I casted led to the damage.
It was Dryad's Awakening.
There we go.
The card out of the Brothers War stuff.
That makes Dryad Arbors.
Yes, it makes Dryad Arbor tokens.
Made 10 of them.
So in the process of it was Danny's. I'm gonna lay down a nice little recap for Danny.
You do that
because I remember very vividly, especially after one of the guys that is also listening tonight. After I stole his Gisela from Life Taker.
He's saying rub it in.
Oh, definitely.
It didn't matter.
It didn't matter
either way.
He was dead. We were all dead. Anyways, Danny had max power in the Scoot Swarm, so it was Scoot time.
I had 2 Scoots out.
Started with 2. He had Warrior's Call
Yep.
in play, the new enchantment that's like Impact Tremors and Perforos and whatever else does the damage when creatures enter.
Yep.
He casted a Dryad's Awakening for, what was it, like
10.
Just 10?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just 10. And it just grotesquely stacked into a crazy amount of damage where we were just all dead. It just didn't matter. And just in case there wasn't the possibility of that killing somebody, Danny still had his Lambholt champion.
Champion of Lambholt.
Or champion of Lambholt. That was probably like, at that point, a billion creatures, so it didn't matter.
Well, it would have been 1,000, something like that. It was well over 1,000.
I don't know. I was dead. I couldn't remember any more of that.
Thick champion.
It was a big boy.
Thick.
But yeah, no, that was fun.
So that was the sugar part. So now we're gonna head into the event results. We have had a lot of stuff change over the course of the summer. Everybody knows that Nadu was a thing. Nadu's gone. We're moving on from Nadu. So now we got the new stuff that's moving into a lot of energy-based things as well that people are seeing. So we have a modern challenge that actually is from today.
Whoa.
With a total of 32 challengers. Your top decks of the top 4 spots are Mardu Energy, Ghoul Prowess, and Boros Energy. For anyone that doesn't understand anything or doesn't know what's going on, this thing called MH3 came out this summer too, and it provided a little bit of extra help to energy decks. And
making Amonkhet great again.
Kaladesh.
Well, that whole set.
Yes.
Or standard set.
The point is, it's a very, very strong mechanic now because of the smaller pieces that are added between your Guided Souls, and then you also have your Amp Raptor, which acts like your Bloodbraid Elf for the deck with energy, and then you also have the top piece that helps out the most, which is Galvanic Discharge, which essentially is your Dark Ritual of energy. So, yeah, looking at the first top deck that won it, real easy to understand it. Gigantha being used. You're running 4 Guided Souls, 4 Ocelot Pride, new card that makes tokens if you have Ascended. The new Giant Akato Pariah, which flips over into the Avenger, so the new Flipwalker. Amp Raptor is a 4 of. Orcish Bowmaster is a 4 of. And then to top it off, at 3 mana, we have the new Elder Giant himself, Flage, the Titan of Fury's Wrath. Fire's Fury, sorry. And then for the Mardu stuff, you get to also run like Thoughtseize. They're now running the One Ring. We have Stag Prism, Goblin Bombardment to get that reach in there for sacrifice creature, get some damage. Your land base is usually around 23, 22 range. Sideboard, it could be anything, so like we don't really need to worry about that too much. But yeah, I mean, between Boros and Mardu Energy, these are the 2 type of decks that are pretty much really prominent. We have a metagame breakdown for this one. Boros Energy came in at 15.62%, which are 5 decks total of the meta. And then Domain Zoo actually at 12.5% as 4. And then it breaks down to some other builds and everything else. Top 4 most played cards for this event, of course, was Orcish Bowmasters is number 1. 10 copies, making up 50% of the decks. The One Ring coming in at number 2 for 10 copies as well as 50%. Flage is number 3 as 8 copies for 50%. And then, of course, number 4, you guessed it, Galvanic Discharge, newcomer of energy, 8 copies at 33%. Top creatures, I'm pretty sure we have at least 2 of them we know of. Orcish Bowmasters, 10 copies, 50%. Flage, 8 copies, 50%. We also have newcomer, Boggart Trawler. This one is a new mono black goblin that is a modal face card that flips into a land. On the other side, it is a 2 and 1 black goblin creature that has, when it enters the battlefield, exile target player's graveyard. And it is a 3/1. And then the other side, of course, being just a land that you can play for gain black mana. And then you also have Obsidian Charma at 6 copies for 50% of decks as number 4. And Ragavan, boy, of the mighty have fallen. He is number 5 for this event, even. Thoughts? Anyone thoughts on Ragavan?
On Ragavan?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Rip.
He had his time.
He's still around.
Still around.
He's a Modern Horizons card, so that's the point of the format.
Yeah,
so.
MH3. That's all it's all about.
It's sticking
Modern
around.
Horizons. Top spells, of course, we have number 1, the One Ring at 10 copies, 50%. Galvanic Discharge, 8 copies at 33%. Lightning Bolt, old trusty Lightning Bolt, number 3.
Never go wrong.
8 copies, 50%. And then number 4, Surgical Extraction with 7 copies, 67%. Quick shout out for some new cards being played. So we have some stuff from Dustmourn. They talk about having Fear of Missing Out, the new red creature with Delirium, 2 copies. Ghost Vacuum, the new artifact that can exile. Screaming Nemesis, a red shut-off life gain power creature as well. And Leyline of Resonance. And like I said, these are low number copies, so you have like 2, 2, 1, 1. And also just a shout-out for a new deck build. They had their one they listed, which was the 30th spot, which is Skelementals, and then 28th for just Jund. Just like a Jund deck with Nethergoyf and Patchwork Beastie from Dustmourn and Fear. So yeah, kind of just a different style of Jund. So that was the Modern Challenge. And then we will do a quick run over Standard Challenge. Since Standard is now picking up a lot more in our local LGSs here, as well as everywhere else, I'm assuming. Yeah, Standard's back, guys.
Quick note, just add here. A lot of stores are doing their store events and stuff where you play a Standard Showdown and you win the Cowboy Bebop cards.
Yes.
This one is Disdainful Stroke this next 4-6 weeks.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's the new thing.
Get that Cowboy Bebop.
Get your Cowboy Bebop. All right. Standard Challenge, once again, was today. 32 people showed up for this. Your top 4 placed decks. We have Azorius Tempo, Domain, Boros Aggro, and Azorius Enchantments. I'm going to be real honest. I do not know much about the Standard format as of right now, besides the 2 weeks I played in one. And the meta is wide open. Like, we are in the Wild West right now.
I'm excited to play some Standard, actually.
The only thing I can say is aggro is real, like very real, and the other side of that coin is it's fast. Like turn 2, turn 3 death can happen. So
my type of Standard.
Danny might get back in on the game.
No, it's too fucking expensive for me to play Standard.
With that new ley line of the red ley line, I can't remember its
Resonance.
name. Resonance. Where you just be making copies of spells. That's up Danny's alley there.
Unless they bring back Lightning Bolt, I'm not playing Standard.
Well, you're not playing Standard forever then.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'll just do a quick top 4 cards of the most played cards for Standard right now too. Is Heartfire Hero. It's the other Cacophony. What's the name of that dang card?
Cacophony Scamp.
Cacophony Scamp. Yeah. So it's the
Phyrexial will be one.
Yep. So it's the other Cacophony Scamp card. So you get to play 8 of them in your deck. Monstrous Rage from Eldraine, Slick Shot, Show Off, and Monastery Swift Sphere. I mean, doesn't matter the numbers. Like, this is just, it's all red. So like either your mono red, your Gruul, or your Rakdos red, like type build around things, whatever. So it's fast, just to be aware.
Probably about 40% of the meta game according to this, is about red X.
Yeah,
speed, so.
most things are red X. I mean, I wouldn't even count domain in there if it even runs red for the purpose of usage for its domain spells.
That's my guess.
Otherwise, yeah, it's a lot of red.
Otherwise, 30.
So, all right. We have upcoming events. Danny?
Do we?
We do.
Oh, it is my section. That's weird. It's usually not.
Now it is.
Wow. Anyway.
I laid stuff out in the text message, okay?
Dude, that was before we started this, so I don't remember any of it. So first up, we have the Minot Tri-City Legacy CEDH Sunday, which is going to be October 12th through the 13th. So it's going to be Saturday is Legacy Swiss Cut to top 4/8, depending on how many people show up. Deck lists are required. It's 1 p.m. start time, $40 entry fee. Guaranteed prizes are first place is $400 cash or $500 store credit. Remaining prize based on attendance. So again, October 13th, Sunday, is going to be the CDH event starting at 11 o'clock. They're going to have a soft open at 10:30, so I get there before 11. $40 entry, guaranteed prizes are first place is $400 cash or again $500 store credit. And they'll be using the Command Tower software for this. So only pods of 4 will be seated. Any other players will receive a bye for that round. Point system is 5 points for victory, 5 points for a bye, 1 point for a draw. The entire pod, even if the final 2 players draw. No proxies allowed, period. This would also include gold bordered cards. All items must be tournament legal copies.
They ain't fucking around, okay?
For a CDH event, usually that's proxies allowed, but
we can get into
legalities.
Funniness of that comment here in a moment.
Yes. But anyway, Paradox has some upcoming events. Facebook, I'm not going to log in. So October 5th, we have Commander Party, Dustmore and House of Horrors. I'm not going to actually go into any of these. February 11th, we have Friday Night Magic Modern. It's a MH3 Winnabox. And then on the 12th through 13th, it's W1000K Modern 2-slot RCQ weekend. So it's back-to-back events. So if you want some Modern, hit up Paradox. Or, Paradox.
Yep.
Almost said Little Big War. Or Little... I don't know why it's Little Big War, because we never have anything there anyway. But anyways, to the news.
Before that, I do want to say a big event happening in the rest of the world of Magic is the Washington RC happening next weekend, the 4th and the 5th.
SCG gone.
Yeah. They're going to have like Lorcana, Star Wars, Flesh and Blood and stuff there, but primarily Magic. It's going to be the RC is Pioneer. Watch it live. They're doing full-on coverage. They got Cedric Phillips back with Patrick Sullivan. They got Corey Baumeister and Alice V and stuff. So it's like top-notch commentary going on here, baby. So
and Cedric's best friend, Patrick Sullivan.
Did I not say Patrick Sullivan?
I don't think I heard you say
Patrick Sullivan.
But P. Sully's back,
yeah.
man.
Which is
Sully,
great.
Cedric Phillips.
So get hyped on that there. I just wanted to
jealous.
mention that. Details will be linked down below.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah.
But before we move on here as well, I want to comment in the fucking chat. Jesse, you son of a bitch.
Whoa, language.
Yeah, this is a family
I can
here.
indeed get out of the starting area in Monster Hunter. Come at me.
You can get 10 feet, and that's about as far as you can get.
Hold on a second now.
That's right. Walk 10 feet, fall on the ground. Ah. Philly.
Love me some Monster Hunter.
We know.
Anyway, back to the news.
All right, here we go. This is going to be a little bit different on the news quickies because we've been gone for a few months. So I'm going to try to rapid fire things as much as humanly possible before I get to the most recent news quickies.
Can you do it in the style of Yakkos singing the countries?
We're not gonna do bits already for the first episode.
That's a challenge.
No, I can't. I don't have a good enough composer with me.
Okay. Well,
so I am going to do them, however, in the stylings of Seth Meyers from Late Night Comedy.
Meanwhile,
there we go.
So you're Seth Meyers.
I'm going to work. Well, no, I'm just going to do it in the style of him.
Oh, okay.
Because he was gone for like 5 weeks and shit happened, and so he did rapid fire news shit.
Okay, I'm in.
All right, here we go. Starting from the bottom, working our way to the top. So some new promo cards came out left and right. Some of you care about, some of you won't. Modern Horizons 3 came out. It did some things, and it did some more things. Some more cards came out. Some cards got banned in a lot of different formats, including some more recently than others. Core sets are now foundations instead of core sets. MTG Player of the Year trophy is named after Kaya
Buddha.
Thank you. Conventions happened left and right and are coming more. Some big, some small, who cares? Let's keep moving. WotC has a new president. Sheldon Secret Lair is finally in the hands of people. Netflix live MTG show got canceled. Mystery Boosters got a sequel. New Magic sets have come out, and we have played around with them already. Marvel had some leaks. Oh, don't worry. MTG has an animated MTG show now. Now some Secret Lair stuff. Shit keeps selling out. People are pissed about the new format structure still. WotC keeps making me question whether or not Secret Lairs are even worth it. Rubberies are gone. Who's calling Ghostbusters? It's fucking Chucky. D&D has an anniversary. Koba got nerfed. And there's much more. Did I miss anything? No? Okay, cool. All right, let's go into the actual news bits. So speaking of foundations, we finally have a release date for that.
Big Daddy, talking too fast. My brain is hurting. Damn it, boy.
This is why you can listen to it like tomorrow or the next day when Matt gets this out.
Right.
Just imagine now if that was in the style of Yakko's World. That would have been...
I thought about it for a good 30 seconds if I could find a good tune to go with it, but couldn't make it happen. I didn't have enough time.
Please repeat.
Don't worry. I'm getting to that.
Yeah, John, we'll get back to you.
I'm getting to that one because obviously I give a shit about that. All right, so we earlier this year we got an announcement that core sets would no longer be a thing. It's now MTG Foundations. It's a new thing that'll stick around for a little while. What is it? 2 years now?
5 years.
Holy shit!
So standard sets now are set at 3 years. Foundation sets will be set at 5 years. So that way, players that are coming into the new stuff are able to actually invest and stick around.
Fuck yeah. Well, here we go.
They don't get raped in the butt.
Yeah.
Well, in case anyone was wondering, anyone cares, the release date for Foundations will be November 8th, 2024.
It's just around the corner.
So there will be pre-release packs. There will be a beginner's box. There will be a starter collection. There will be play boosters. There will be a play booster display. There will be start boosters. There will be start booster displays. There will be collector's boosters. There will be collector's boosters displays. And there will be formerly known as fat packs bundles.
Just when you didn't think there was
R.I.P.
enough. Yeah.
So there's that. But then now let's talk about some more Secret Lair stuff because there is a super drop coming out on Monday. Yeah. So some of the Secret Lair stuff that is coming out in this super drop is, believe it or not, if you couldn't figure it out from my rapid firing, we will have a Ghostbusters, the real Ghostbusters set coming out. So we'll get some Ghostbusters patch, which is a new styling of Boros Charm, a careful study with Grimer looking very astute and educational.
Oh, Slimer.
Grimer.
Not Grimer.
Anyway, Answer the Call, which is
El Domri's Call.
Thank you. And then we have the Total Containment Failure, which is a Living End re-sleeve or reformatting thing.
Ooh.
And Echo 1,
The unlicensed hearse.
It's an unlicensed
It's a hearse.
Yep. And then we have Ghostbusters Slimer Edition. So we have Escape Containment, which is... Jesus fucking Christ.
Incarnation Technique.
Thank you. That is...
If you go below each one, it tells you all of them, of course.
Hey, there we go. And then we will have a Mimeoplasm sleeve. We'll have a Windfall sleeve. We'll have a Trick Bind sleeve, and then a
Just Pernicious Deed.
Yep, there we go. That's the one I missed. And then more anime things for you folks that
Hatsune Miku.
really
You get the electric entourage.
So then we get some more. Planeswalkers in this wonderful styling. There we go. They're up on the screen. Are they up on the screen? They're up on the screen. Yeah.
Just remember, none of us are going to be able to get these at all because they'll be gone by the time the site pops up.
Exactly. So, but you have the Royal Scions, you have Liliana of Dark Realms, you have Jace, Unraveler of Secrets,
Elspeth Tyrell, and Fairley's Landwar's Fury.
Yep, there we go. And then we've got fucking Chucky working his way into the Magic world.
Well, we're almost to Halloween, Garrett.
Well, here's the real question: did any of you get the quote? It's fucking Chucky.
Yes.
Where? Where's it from? Where am I pulling it from?
Are you pulling it from one of the movies?
I'm pulling it from a movie.
Scary movie.
Oh, no.
Wrong.
No.
It's not a scary movie?
No, it's Ready Player One. It's fucking Chucky.
Oh.
The guy freaks out and everything. Anyways.
Ready Player One. That has Arnold Schwarzenegger, right?
I'm going to stab you. Well, technically, he might have been in there. That's not the
he
point.
actually is in there.
What?
Hey! Backfire!
That was a backfire.
All right, let him talk about the stuff here. Get wrecked.
Fuck you, buddy.
Hey, get good, scrub.
All right, so we have a reversible Caradon Doom Scour as Chucky, a Phyrexian Reclamation. Sorry, Jack. Chucky's back. Varagarth Blood Sky Sire. That is Tiffany, Bride of Chucky. And then Twin Flame, Friends Till the End. And Genesis Chamber, Play Pals Factory.
Matt,
Dear God.
they're lying to you. He was not in Ready Player One.
Suck it.
Except for the Terminator was in Ready Player One.
Yes.
And it was in Arnold Schwarzenegger's likeness.
So Arnold Schwarzenegger was not in the movie, though.
His likeness was.
But
Is
he
I say
wasn't.
Is this the hill you want to die on right now?
Yes. Technicalities.
Well, technicality, for his likeness, they would need to ask him permission.
Well,
Are we going to get into the AI kerfuffle here of
No, we're
actors?
No.
All right, and then we have a showcase from Duskmorn. This has Cauldron Familiar. This is Dothy Voidwalker, Magnus of the Moon, Phyrexian Metamorph, and Witch's Oven. I don't know why they would put two of those cards in the same secret lair.
Hard to say.
Makes zero sense to me.
Gotta do some showcasing, you know?
And now, Goose, this is the point where
The nerf.
Coma got nerfed. So this is the Monstrous Magazines. These all these cards are just like kind of like the cereal boxes. But
Cereal boxes,
in
movie
horror,
posters, all that
movie
stuff.
This reminds me of
Goosebumps.
Goosebumps book
Yep.
covers.
Yeah.
So specifically, so there's Doom Whisperer, Coma, Cosmos Serpent. Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm scrolling
Mazarek,
down.
Crawl.
Well, it's because I'm trying to read. I'm reading the top horror.
Oh, horror!
And it's
Horrors
like, fuck
across the
that.
plains.
Earl Mistwalker, and then which one did I miss?
Ravenous Chupacabra.
Thank you
Chubby.
for keeping track. So the one thing that has been acknowledged on Coma is that the original printing says that at the beginning of every upkeep, the Secret Lair one is just your upkeep.
That is not
Listen,
correct.
Coma
So it's not
is
correct.
Coma is way too powerful. It needed a nerf, clearly.
No, it didn't.
Arata.
And then we've got some featuring Peach.
It is indeed a misprint there, Goose.
It is.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a misprint.
Misprint.
It's been
but
acknowledged.
Yes.
It's a misprint.
womp womp.
So, Ethereal's Eyes, Drown in Dreams, Psychic Corrosion, Time Sieve, and Visions of Beyond, all in the styling up on your screens right now if you are watching. If not, make sure to go to the website, check them out. They're pretty decent. I like them.
Yeah.
10 out of
Peach
10.
Momoko.
The Time Sieve. That's
That's
the
And
chase
that's-
card.
Well, and
I like
that's
that
going
a
to be
lot.
the only thing that makes me want to get that one for. But I also have a foil of it in my deck already, so. But
I
then
just want the posters.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I want any of these. But anyway, well, yeah. Tome of Ancestors Sorceries. So we've got Back to Basics, Preordained, Sphinx of the Second Sun, and Teferi's Ageless Insight. And then these, just like normal, The non-foils of these are $29.99. The foils are $39.99. And
with the exception of one, which is the Monsters Across, or Horrors from Across the Plains. That one's like $5 cheaper for each one for some reason.
I think it's because of the misprint.
Oh,
they did
that's
that.
right.
They did that
yeah,
with
that's right. I forgot.
What was it? It was an instant, but they labeled it as a sorcery.
Yeah, it's the one that had the similar stuff like at the end.
Yeah,
that art style
so,
one. That's right.
Well, there's the news quickies. Did I get through them quick enough?
Yes.
Perfectly quick.
Hey, Danny, what about the actual news?
Yeah. The only thing that's important.
You mean the only thing anyone's talking about?
Yes. So this is going to be a quick section within the actual podcast. So it's the ban and restriction announcement from September 23rd, so 5 days ago, or when we're listening. So these all affect Commander. So the 4 that got banned are Dockside Extortionist, which was kind of expected. Nadu, which was for sure expected. And the 2 blindsides were Jewel Lotus and Mana Crypt. We are going to talk about this later, so no one say anything. So...
Sorry, if you want another news quickie. Apparently now, if you forget your Saga trigger, it will be treated like a missed trigger.
Yeah,
there we go. That's the only thing I missed.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw something about that, yeah. They're no longer... go back and trigger it. It's...
You just get a counter, nothing happens.
Yep.
Sucks to suck. Get good. Get good.
Remember your triggers. There's a T-shirt out there for you. Yeah. So someone's made a T-shirt and it's profiting.
All right, let
on
Danny
it.
finish with time.
No, that was it.
He's already done.
I know.
Are you going to say what got banned?
I already said that.
Okay.
You were not paying attention.
No, I wasn't. I was reading the.
No,
I was reading other news.
No, yep. The 4 that got banned again are Dockside Extortionist, Jewel Lotus, Mana Crypt, and Nadu. Winged Wisdom.
Oh, man.
My Nadu.
Anyway.
Probably the one that everyone
cares
about.
Everyone knew it was going to be banned. No one even thought about trying to build a commander deck from it.
Only the CDH players wanted it.
And we'll talk about that whenever Danny says we can talk about that.
Yes, in the Thoughtcast.
After the show.
Yep.
Well.
It's technically a short episode because we don't have much to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about a lot of other stuff at the end.
The other podcast that's going to be coming out.
But you live listeners, you get to get it all in one go. So
there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Does that mean? Is it time?
Oh,
it is.
You
the
know
return of conjured currency.
Anyway.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the way this section of the newscast goes. We like to go to MTG Stocks. We like to look at their weekly winners article, which now maybe won't have too much of a difference.
Came out yesterday.
Because it comes out, 1 day difference versus 3 days.
24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Is this what it is like? To be relevant in the news?
I don't think Matt gets to play this one this week.
Why not?
Because it has absolutely nothing to do about any format.
So?
Yeah, he's still playing.
It's still fun to watch him struggle.
I don't think he's struggling this week.
We'll find out. All right. So the way this works is MTG Stocks, they put out a weekly winners article. They talk about 3 to 4 cards moving up in price. They talk about 3 to 4 cards moving down in price. We like to talk about the cards because though we are not financial experts, we would like to broadcast information out to those who maybe fancy themselves more experts than we are. And we just like talking about cards. So, also we like making fun of Matt.
That's just a given.
When he can't get the cards right. So
hopefully he doesn't talk himself out of the reasons this week.
Like that goblin card back in the day.
Because of our hiatus, we're going to restart. We're going to restart the quarters, restart the scoreboard, even though Matt was getting his ass handed to him. Pretty sure?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, how bad? Let's do a from the last time recap.
Oh boy.
Yeah, what were the points at the very end of all that?
I think it was between you and I winning.
Probably. Unless Danny came out of nowhere. I mean,
yeah.
I think I was a week behind you guys, so I don't.
Well, I I only had 2.35 because I only went once in this time frame. Danny went once and had 2. And then Garrett had, what are you at? Like 4.35. And Anthony was at 3.25. So Garrett was killing it.
Nice.
All right, so the way this works is the 3 to 4 cards moving up and down in price we talk about. We have one person, this week it being Matt, guess the format as to why they're going up in price. And we are going to skip over the front piece stuff because I think we can all guess why those are the losers of the week.
Oh, you don't want to test me?
Sure. Why is Jeweled Lotus going down?
Oh, well, fun fact about this, Commander Q.
Anyway.
Jesus Christ.
Smart ass. So then you get a half a point for guessing the format correctly, and then you get a half a point for guessing like the deck or commander correctly.
Or just whatever Garrett whims point-wise.
Sure.
Yes.
Excuse me, sir. You have been on the winning side of some of those on a whim decisions.
Should we pull up the receipts there where I remember one gave me a 0.7.
Someone sounds bitter.
I'm sorry, did you want to just have a 0.5?
Pepperidge Farms remembers.
You want to have a 0.5?
Exactly.
Give him a 0. Give him a 0.
All right, Matt, here's your first card.
Okay.
All right. So, first card up is Obnixilis Captive Kingpin. Now, this card comes out of this even real set?
Yeah.
Aftermath, baby.
Comes out of March of the Machines Aftermath. The card reads, it is a legendary creature demon for 2 generic, a black, and a red. See, it's glitching out. It's not a real card.
Not a real card.
You get Flying Trample. Whenever one or more opponents lose exactly 1 life, put a 1/1/1 counter on Obnixilis. Exile the top card of your library until your next end step. You may play that card. Now, this card is legal in everything except for Pauper. And Alchemy. But I'm looking at the MTG stocks.
Who cares about Alchemy?
Yeah, fuck Alchemy.
All-time low of this card, $2.20. All-time high is $19.99. But as of yesterday, it went up 337%, up to $14.95. And let's see, there are some other versions of this card. There is a alternate frame for Aftermath showcase. There we go.
Yeah.
There's a
it's like the
is that the raised foil?
No,
whatever.
It's supposed to be like the etched thing.
Gilded is what it's called.
Oh yeah, that
one. Yeah,
that
the
one.
That one.
That one.
Oh,
yeah,
that's the
etched
foil.
Yep. And then there's a borderless copy as well, and then each of which have some foils to them. Yep. Okay. Now, good sir, I have covered all the relevant information for you. Why is this card moving up?
So I know I'm going to be setting the bar
real
extremely low here.
Probably.
Legendary creature, flying trample, 4 mana, 4/3. The relevant part here is whenever one or more opponents each lose exactly 1 life. So there's like the one that's there's a new card that came out in Duskmourn that when an opponent draws a card, it deals a damage to them. So it could go 2 ways. EDH deck of Rakdos make your opponent draw cards, or it could be standard because of that.
I mean, you've hit 2 very relevant formats.
I did.
You going to decide on one of them?
I'm going to decide on standard, and I'm going to say it's because of that Duskmourn card in the Rakdos style deck of stuff there.
Matt, give yourself a big goose egg.
Okay.
Hey!
It is because of the pre-con Endless Punishment with Volgothol, Hero of
Velgavoth.
Yep.
Not even close.
Out of the Duskmoor.
The new pre-con.
Commanders.
Yeah.
Crazy Mage says, bet high, funny man. I bet high. I swung for standard. That was as high as I can get.
Yeah, so essentially it's you got a second copy now with that deck.
There you go.
With abilities. Every time, Matt. Every time.
Even if I say commander, I mean, I would have got half a point for that.
You would have got half. Well, actually, I probably would have given you more than a half a point because you were in the realm of Rakdos, and that's where you were going.
I mean, that's the whole point of him.
Anyway, you ready for the next one?
I'm ready for the next one.
You ready for this wonderful card out of World Wake?
Ooh. Let's go, baby.
Selective Memory went up 136%, sitting at $4.69.
What'd you say?
60 noise.
Oh, I had a little bit of selective memory right there.
Yeah. Anyway, so for 3 generic and 1 blue, you get a sorcery card that says search your library for any number of non-land cards and then exile them and then shuffle. This is legal in Legacy, Modern, Vintage, and Commander. And its all-time low was 25 cents. Its all-time high was $6.18. There are 0 other printings of this card, but as of today, the average price is, which is what people are trying to sell it for, and the market price, which is what people are trying to buy it for, the average price was $4.72. Market price was $2.77. Foils for this bad boy sitting at $29.97.
Damn.
European average, 74 cents. Now, good sir, why is this card moving up in price?
I'm going to say Oopso Spells and Charbelcher in Modern because of Modern Horizons and the new MDFC lands that can make those deck pretty much get down to what you need to. It's going to be one of those two, Modern, locking it in, Charbelcher, Oopso Spells.
Give the man a point.
Woo!
Full point.
Full Monty, baby.
No, you're
that's
far
not
away
full
from
Monty.
full Monty.
That's just
full Monty on that point.
Jesus Christ.
All right, third card coming up, and fun fact, there is no fourth. So this is the last of the weekly winners side of this, is Zur Internal
Schemer.
Yep, there we go.
Schemer.
Internal?
Eternal.
There's a comma after Zur.
I mean, he could be
he should be
internally
fine.
scheming too.
This went up 244%, sitting at $8.02. Now, for this wonderful 1 white, 1 blue, 1 black, you get a legendary human wizard with flying. Enchantment creatures you control have Death Touch, Lifelink, and Hexproof. And for 1 and a white, target non-aura enchantment you control becomes a creature until, in addition to its other types, and has base power and toughness equal to its mana value. It's legal in Legacy, Modern, Pioneer, Historic, Vintage, Standard, and Commander. Average price, $9.10. Market price, $7.70. Foils, $29.93. European average, €1.36. All-time low, $1, baby. All-time high, $9.10. It's not on the reserved list. It does have some arts cards, if you care. There is, of course, their
showcase.
The showcase version in foil and non-foil. There's the pre-release version and a promo pack version. And holy shit, the promo pack version is for $147.40.
Hey man, that silver Planeswalker stamp is very important to some people.
Get that, flip it, baby.
But here's the difference between that and the pre-release.
Yeah.
Pre-release is $11.28.
Who wants to remember when they got this card? Okay.
Old people who don't remember shit.
Pew, pew.
All right, good sir. Can you tell me why this card's moving up in price?
EDH, and because of the Duskmourn enchantment stuff. I can't remember the name of the commander. That's the enchantment-based one, but it turns all of those Glimmer creatures into bigger Glimmer creatures because a lot of them are like 4-drop creatures that are like 1/3s or whatever, so it becomes, you turn them into, 4/4s with Death Touch, Lifelink, and Hexproof on those Glimmers. All the enchantment creatures that came out of Duskmourn and whatever that deck is that I can't remember the name of. The precon. Yes.
Half point.
You know what? No. We've been on hiatus.
Yeah.
We've been on hiatus. I feel during this time I've had some growth.
Okay.
Had some growth.
In your pants?
0.66 points.
I'm going to give him a full point.
Ooh, what a generous man.
I would have given him like 0.9.
I'm going to give him full point.
I mean, I would
because
give him 0.9.
they are talking about a lot of enchantments being the rooms. Rooms are split cards out of Dustmore. And so they're talking a lot about different things. And that full point is very generous, I would like to note. So the next time you want to sit and
make sure you
moan
note
about
that
things,
in your notepad how generous that point was.
Garrett was super generous. Could have given me 0.6.
Yeah,
I am writing it down. Duly noted now.
Good. But yeah, the big part is the rooms.
For the rest of this time, though, I'm going to be completely their ass to you. But at least one time I can say
I would
I
not
was
want
generous.
it any other way.
I was generous one time. So that covers it. Matt, I believe, is at 2 points to start us off.
Hey, you can do math.
I can. It's like I'm a math teacher.
Nice.
Right? So normally we'd have our person guessing jump over and do that, but because Matt has to fiddle around with screens, I'm going to have Anthony do the cheap pickups today.
All right, cheap pickups that we have coming in are Blooming Marsh, moving up to $3. This is the OTJ version. It was identified in the good old classic MTG Stocks Premium Penny Stocks featurette, letting you all know what's coming. And then we move on to Stoneforge Mystic, the one from Double Masters.
Womp womp.
Moving down slowly to a whopping 1871. Still got cash behind it. And then, of course, to finish it off, another OTJ card. One of the Spree cards, Final Showdown, is now moving down. It is averaging out to about $6.80. And this is your special one that was the white lose abilities, destroy all creatures, instant speed stuff. So if you're looking for any of these three cards, you better go pick them up as soon as you can.
It's the final showdown.
Hey, Garrett.
Yo.
If I'm looking for some cards, where can I go to find like pricing and stuff?
Oh, you could always just go look in your collection like you need to for some cards I'm looking for.
I mean, that's true. But what if I wanted more stuff that wasn't in my collection?
I would tell you to stop being so damn greedy.
Anthony doesn't have cards in his collection. This motherfucker, I don't know if you know, he just told us he's not rich. He just told us like an hour ago.
I know.
He's not rich.
I know.
It fucking shattered my reality.
Listen, I filed for bankruptcy 5 times. I'm still rich. Okay? That's how it works.
Were you taking notes out of someone's playbook?
I wrote
or dominantly in the mainstream media right now?
I wrote the book. I am the deal of art. That's how it works.
Well, you know what? I would probably grab a TCG sniper if I was you.
Yeah? To hunt down those prices?
We're going to get in trouble here, sir. We're going to get in trouble here.
Oh, I love how I had my secret achievement of sneaking in a political joke here. I would go to TCG Sniper.
Just don't hide in the woods.
I would go to TCG Sniper because, you know what? They have a wonderful resource where you can put a list of cards or products together, and they inform you. They notify you.
Sometimes referred to as a manifesto.
A manifesto.
You won't.
This be my manifesto.
With TCG Sniper, you won't miss your shot.
It's we're going to put on a list now is what we're going for.
Listen, disclaimer, things that happen in the political realm, we do not condone or agree with at all. Civilization is more important.
Agree.
Jokes are funny. Jokes are funny.
Yeah,
though.
these are jokes, 100% jokes. We're funny men on the internet. Allegedly call ourselves funny men. We're not. We don't have.
Speak for your fucking self. I'm hilarious.
Good Lord.
Anyway,
okay, reload.
Are you saying we missed the first shot of this?
We did.
This service actually knows how to do their job.
Just by the skin of an ear.
So anyway, you can with their premium membership, you can have unlimited chances to hit your target price
And start a new fashion trend.
Right? But even if you do their free membership, because you can get their premium membership for 3 months for free if you say the guys at This Week in MTG sent you over.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then if you go, you know what, that's just too much money for me. I'm a broke teacher. I don't got that. You can still get 15 cards on a list, 15 products, whatever mix and matching you want to do on that.
Oh, not bad.
I actually got to refer this to one of my teacher buddies because he was looking for a specific printing of one of the Bloom Burrow cards he was looking for because he was very, very much excited about the Bloom Burrow stuff.
Good old red wall.
And so they notify you. They say, hey, your card, your product is at the desired price you want it to be at. Go buy it, and here's where you can buy it. So there you go. Go to TCG Sniper.
There we go.
So if you're looking for those Jeweled Lotuses or Mana Crypts, now is the time to buy them.
Indeed.
All right.
But there you have it, Magic folk. That is the return of This Week in MTG. Be excited as we continue to do bi-monthly episodes with some bonus stuff getting shoved in between there. It's I don't know. There's no like direction with that right now, so stick tuned as we go with that. You know, we'll figure it out. We'll build together. We'll build this wall, this wonder wall. No, God.
Anyway,
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall.
Okay. Anybody else have anything else they want to add to the end of this episode here?
Those in the live show, stick around. We are going to have a Thoughtcast episode, and for the listeners,
check out the next episode.
Check out the next episode.
So thank you to all you legendary Magic folk for making it to the end of episode 231 of This Week in MTG.
Holy shit.
As we wrap up another episode, we want to extend our deepest gratitude to the incredible listeners, you out there. Your enthusiasm fuels our passion for all things Magic, and we're honored to be part of this vibrant community. Stay tuned for more exciting updates, discussions, and insight in the realm of Magic. Till then, may your mana be plentiful and your draws ever favorable. Keep gathering those magical moments.
See ya.
Bye.
All right.
Adios.
Quick break.
I'll give you a quick break.
Giggity.
A break off that Kit Kat bar?
You're drinking an energy drink at this time of night?
I would be if I had one.
Want to pass me that water bottle over there, Garrett?
This here water bottle?
That there water bottle.
This here water bottle?
Ones with 2 extra dents on it from a little fucking kid that likes to drop it.
Yep, it's water.
Okay.
Just
Glad
checking.
that you checked.
Is this really water? Let me see.
Hey, thanks for finding cards for me.
You're welcome. I hope that helps your Pioneer deck and commander requirements.
It will.
It's good.
I no longer have any proxy placeholder cards for Commander.
Nice.
And I've now moved past 32 me build decks. Almost.
I have a new deck I'm going to work on, actually.
My Doctor deck is going to
Take bites out of it and broken.
I'm so fun.
I'm excited for the Doctor deck to get played. So that's one that ever since they released that stuff last year, I was just like, ooh, I can't wait till Garrett puts it together so I can see it. Did you pick up your copies of cards you missed from the Secret Lair then, too?
I did.
Was it out or was it okay on the secondary market?
It was okay.
It was okay.
It was okay. It just made me realize, like, for that kind of a Secret Lair, I should have gotten it when I could have, because that was like the last one that I could have just ordered on the last day.
Yeah, no, I thought about that for Jurassic Park and like D&D stuff too. I'm just like, but at the same time, I'll live without it.
Yeah,
for now.
But no, I got the three cards that I really wanted out of it. So being the 14th and the 15th Doctor, and then Rose Noble.
There you go.
So
spicy.
I gotta remember. I was like, I gotta remember what card this goes in. I started updating decks now. Finally. So.
Yeah, I gotta start listing my decks on Moxfield and stuff too, and then going through updates again.
Yeah.
No, I am excited. I have my new deck I'm going to build. That's going to be an indestructible deck.
I don't think it's going to be indestructible from the banned and restricted hammer.
Well, I want to have those cards in there, so it won't matter.
Anyway.
We ready to start this?
Yes, we are.
Fuck yeah. Let's go, Danny.
So, the reason why we're here...
What the... Don't quickly say, let's start this, and not be like, record.
God
Matt
damn
has
it,
to do
Matt.
one thing: record.
I'm not fucking prepared for you just to be like jumping into this shit.
He's
without
excited.
starting.
Okay.
I could tell he's excited.
This is my section. I never get abandoned announcements or abandoned restriction announcements.
Or at least a big enough one for a Thoughtcast.
Exactly.
Do the lead in for the Thoughtcast.
What is the lead in? We don't have a script for it.
Yeah, so just balls to the walls it, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, starting in the right corner is Danny.
No, doesn't work.
The Professor Oak.
Sure.
With his trusty band hammer, talking about the banned and restricted announcements that are shaking the MTG community. Let's hear it for him in this week in MTG Thoughtcast, where we talk about all of our opinion things and we stay the news out of this and we talk about things and bye.
Yes, bye. That's it. See ya.
The crowd.
No. So, I'm sure everyone's already looked, saw, had their comments, their concerns. So, speaking of the bans, the big ones, Julos and the Manacrypt, we have an actual explanation from I guess the community of why or what happened. So this was posted because after this announcement, the RC website was taken down for this because it was this whole FAQ. So I don't know if Matt wants to pull that up or not, because I'm just basically going to read it. So the September 2024 Commander Banding FAQ. So here are the following questions.
Real quick thing for those of you who don't know what FAQ is, it's frequently asked questions.
There we go. The
Thank
more you know.
Thank you for answering that.
Anytime.
So anyways, the following questions have come up repeatedly in the aftermath of the week's banning. This document aims to provide an easily linked to source for answers. Those answers may not be satisfying or provide solace, but they hopefully provide clarity. Before we start with the questions, we need to make one thing perfectly clear. While disagreement and good faith discussion is welcome, threats of violence, including people supporting those threats, is beyond the pale. They have no place in Commander. So threats of any kind directed at any one of the CAG moderators or the RC are not only counterproductive, they will be dealt with immediately through appropriate legal channels.
Don't threaten anybody. That's just a dick move in general.
Yes. So number one, did the RC sell any of the cards before banning to avoid loss of value? No. There's no way to prove it short of putting our collections in escrow. But the RC has zero tolerance policy for abusing knowledge of pending or political or potential changes. If a vendor has evidence of cards being sold before the announcement, they invite them to reach out and publish it, which is a big one because it's a lot of money. Will the RC roll back these changes? Do you listen to the audience? We have no desire or intent to roll back these changes and believe that doing so would make any financial concerns much worse. We also believe the format as a whole will be better for them. That said, we do listen to the feedback about how it is communicated, executed, and other suggestions about how to handle it in the future. 3. Why didn't you give advance notice of this change? In bold, we'll own this one. This could have been done much better. Some sort of solence on that one. Our policy about advance notice has been for many years to avoid muddling the waters of advance warnings about what we are planning to ban. We used to have a watch list, but it caused noticeable grief when things weren't acted upon. B, slowed down our ability to react when we saw a problem. And C, shifted the losses of less enfranchised players who are less aware. So we got rid of it. Second, on top of that, most recent bannings have come primarily through community feedback. So like Hull Breacher, Flash, Paradox Engine were all cards the community told us were a problem. So this was a public awareness in advance. This wasn't the case with Golos, which came out of nowhere, but it was born out of a good ban. Lastly, discussing potential pending bans with more people increasing the chance of leaks, which make the losses even more unfair. Our goal with keeping it secret, especially in the case of expensive cards, was to avoid any possibility for advanced trading based on leaks. In the case of the December 24 ban, though the financial impact of the changes justified more discussion or community awareness ahead of time, keeping details secret to avoid leaks was important, but discussing the concept openly would have been worth it. So this, my main thing with this one was, we'll come back to this one, for sure. Will you give advance? So number 4, will you give in advance some notice of changes in the future? We will be discussing the concept of warming up community awareness before bans like this in the future. To be clear, it would be less of a shock, but casual players will more likely get taken advantage of, so it's not clear if it'll be strict improvement. Nonetheless, there's a significant portion of player base who want to see it, and we acknowledge that this set of bannings caused a lot of pain, made worse by surprise. Number 5, why didn't you ban cards of one at a time and see how they went? The decision to ban multiple cards at the same time, Dockside, Crypt, and Lotus, were based on the belief that it sends a stronger message about what we're trying to achieve. Agree with that goal or not, a slow drip would have diluted the impact, and if the problem is real, then we wanted to act decisively. Number 6, why didn't WotC know, or did WotC know these cards would be banned when they sold them in 2023? We've had discussions discussed our concerns about fast mana, including marquee cards like Dual Lotus and Manuscript, with WotC for some time, but we had not decided to ban them until recently. We knew it was a painful change and maybe waited too long, but once we decided to ban cards, we acted and never sat on a banning. Number 7, if you ban these cards specifically because they're expensive, no, the reverse, that reverses the cause and effect. The cards were expensive because they were been kept as chase cards and are very powerful. We banned them because their power and impact on the format, and while we accept that their monetary value is real, it doesn't justify us leaving them in the format. Number 8, which is also going to be huge, did you ban these cards specifically to target CDH or TEDH? I don't know what TEDH is.
I think it's tournament.
A tournament?
Yeah.
That's weird. No, while this set of bannings does have a large impact on CDH and TDH metagame, there was neither our goal nor an overwhelming consideration. In fact, it was something we like to avoid, but not a high priority. We banned them because they were having an increased effect on casual games, and Rule 0 pre-game conversations were no longer keeping them in check. I think that's a lie. Number 9, do you care that banning these cards damaged the CDH metagame? We care because some of our players enjoy this style of play, but believe there's a small portion of global player base, and the high-powered play leaking into our low-powered groups is a recurring problem. We've always been very clear. We've always been really clear that we would like to make changes based on helping casual players have the best play experience, and that CDH style players who specified this pre-game conversations may be caught in the blast. It has been an extreme example of that. Although our contacts in the high power community believe it will not be destructive to the format, and or it will evolve into something new. Number 10, why wasn't the CAG told about the bans or consulted? The CAG had been involved in numerous conversations about format speed over the past few years, and they shared their opinions with us. They were not informed of the ban or choice to ban these cards because we felt we had information. We had the information that we needed from them or elsewhere, and as a large group, would have been difficult to keep that under wraps. As above, we felt making sure there was no leaks was paramount. Number 11. Are other expensive cards safe from being banned? Yes, but not absolutely beyond reapproach. We're not going to paint ourselves into a corner and say we'll never ban expensive cards. But we can say categorically that we do not want to ban cards, that staples are part of the commander, the card pool is incredibly large, and that we will try to keep the format stable going forward unless cards are causing large problems. So we'll go back I'll go through the reasoning behind each card. So Dockside was first printed in 2019, banned obviously earlier this week. So it generates 4+ treasures very easily in a multiplayer game, which accelerates one player into mid game or even late game plays starting as early as turn 2. As a creature that are easy to reoccur, and often early games or entire games would revolve around 2-drop creature. Jewel Lotus printed in 2020. Jewel Lotus accelerates big commanders, but also accelerates the 4 to 5 mana commanders even more, and those have become increasingly powerful since 2020. Often drawing cards or otherwise yielding value, they offset the disadvantage of Lotus, which overall contributes to explosive starts, which are difficult to catch up with. That's a lot. Mana Crypt, first printed in 1994. This is what really caught everyone off guard. Mana Crypt is an extremely powerful accelerant, which, if drawn in the first 2 turns, immediately moves the controller to the mid-game spells. The drawback of losing 1.5 life per turn is not a significant deterrent in a game which ends within 4 to 6 turns and starts with 40 life. It is banned to lower the number of available mana-positive rocks in the first few turns, and in doing so, decrease the frequency of extremely fast starts. And the last one that everyone saw coming, Nadu Winged Wisdom, first printed this year. Nadu is an inexpensive commander in popular colors, which very easily yield an overwhelming resource advantage. Even without building around it, it leads to a long, deterministic turns with little opportunity for interaction. Worse, it's not obvious how powerful Nadu is, and the temptation to play it quickly led to a lot of miserable games. So, now the discussion starts. Going back to 3.
3 is the
why didn't advance notice be given?
Yes. So,
that's not the idea behind advance notice or a ban list. Like, most people should know things are going to potentially be coming. I think honestly, no one's surprised by Nadu.
Nope.
At all.
No.
Dockside had been talked about for a long enough time that honestly I don't think people were surprised by it.
The creatures people weren't surprised about, it's the fact that obviously the number 1 is Jewel Lotus.
Yep.
Because that was printed only for Commander. Mind you, it is technically legal in Vintage and Legacy.
And
of which it does get played in a Legacy deck.
It does. But
very, very hard loops to jump through for that, though, which is the crazy part.
Yeah, it's definitely a fine line you have to tread for that one. But it's the fact that Jewel Lotus has been reprinted twice, or had been reprinted within the last year.
Well, it was made 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Made 4 years, reprinted last year. I mean,
and even the cheap end is not cheap.
Yeah, and honestly, here, my teacher friend and I have been sitting, and we have Microsoft Teams at school, so we've been sitting and I'll be teaching or he'll be teaching, and we'll shoot each other a message. Like day 1, we shot each other a message going, "Did you fucking see the announcement?"
Yep. No,
and
so Keegan, I was trying to get here tonight, talk about this. We sit across the aisle from each other, and we have teams, and we are literally. I literally lit him on fire with that first announcement, and he just flipped.
And then the funny thing too is we have other teachers that one of them is very much a Pokemon player.
Mm-hmm.
The next day after the announcement went, we were walking in together, and he's like, "Hey, I heard the Magic community's just in an uproar right now."
Yeah.
And so I sat there and I was talking with him about it because he doesn't play Magic, so he doesn't understand fully the impact that this had. But then as we're sitting and talking in the little common area right outside of his classroom, one of the other student teachers comes out and goes, "Are you guys talking about Magic the Gathering?" I was like, "Fuck yeah, I am."
Are you guys talking about this?
Yeah. Well, we have a coworker that doesn't know Magic, but he's a Pokemon collector.
Yep.
And he's like, Keegan was like, the easiest way to explain this is so you bought your Charizard, and then
you can't
3 days later, they're like, hey, you can't use that card in any format or anything like that, and you lose immediate value.
And that's the other thing I sat and talked about. Here's the thing. Yes, it does suck that the cards lost value.
Mm-hmm.
Like in our group chat, even Anthony going, "Hey, could a retroactive
as a joke?
As a joke, I know, but
it's true.
Can we get some retroactive trading on that?" And like, well, that was like a month and a half ago that we traded that shit, so no.
Right.
Yeah.
No, Keegan was the same
mainly
way. It's like,
mainly because I need that $20 of cards that I asked you to look for.
right.
Yeah. But no, that part's been brought up too. Like Josh B. Quay talked about that with Rachel Weeks and their Commander thing, which is like, it's the idea that for the financial side of things, for all the players that own these cards, bought these cards, all these, like everything in general, like what happened with Keegan and you, in a sense. But even worse, like I saw one of the worst things ever was there was a guy that literally there was an image shown. He bought a Jeweled Lotus at like $150 the night before and had everything shipped, all that stuff. The next day the ban comes out. And like the fact that a majority of the people that actually own these cards are average Joes, which means now your collection just lost X amount of dollars dramatically.
And that's the shitty part is that
that's
people
that's the sucky part.
that actually sat and saved and wanted to buy this because they felt they needed it.
Right.
So here's the fun part. Like after the banner announcement, I'm like, oh, I'm pretty sure I have at least one, maybe one of. How many do I have of these? And I quickly went to Moxfield and just typed in the card so I can look in all my decks. The Mana Vault,
Mana
Crypt, that was the only one I had.
Yeah.
And I traded it to you, and I hadn't updated the deck yet. So I was like, okay, there's only one. I think I had at least 2 Dockside, though. Nope, only had one, and it's in a mono red deck. It's like, I'm probably on the good side of that because, like, I didn't have too many because I didn't feel I needed too many of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I could have bought a shit ton of Jeweled Lotuses for all my monocolored decks.
Could if you wanted
type
to.
of thing.
Yeah.
But here, at the end of the day, like, I've seen a lot of conversations about this because the one I specifically posted about in our Discord was the Cassius Marsh reaction to it. I think his reaction to it was poor me, because, I mean, he's known as Mr. Bling.
Yeah.
So he's got the expensive versions of said cards.
Right.
Him losing value shouldn't be as impactful as the 4 of us losing value.
Oh no, yeah, that's probably Josh. His statement of, okay, well, I understand why he did it, but it's the fact that, okay, you have the market value. I think Keegan talked about this too with me, or he did the math. It was like the value for the Jeweled Lotuses that are out in print that people have went from, was it $1.5 million to being just over or just under $1 million, like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like when you can affect the market that highly because of a ban, like.
But here's the other thing to think about too with this, like, and this is a big comment I saw a lot of people talking about is this right here. It is a game. It is not meant to be a retirement plan.
Oh, no,
but
100%.
But at the end of the day, too, like we've already been talking about, people who have saved up money to get that card that they felt they needed for a deck.
Yeah.
Because let's be 100% honest on this. The people that are up crying the most are the CDH players.
For sure, because
then, too, so I commented on the Cassius Marsh video that he did on TikTok, just basically kind of reiterating a lot of what I posted in our Discord. Like, it's a casual format, do rule 0. I don't have these, so I mean, I'm not feeling it as much, but I do feel for the people that spent money trying to get X number of copies for this, or spent X number of dollars on a Jeweled Lotus, and then it dropped instantly overnight. 100% feel for those people. So many people commented on my comment going, well, CEDH is proxy friendly. But then we just talked about an event that is local. Not even a big event, a local adjacent, because, statewide event.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
trust.
Yeah.
local enough.
It's Midwest. And they said
No proxies.
0 proxies. They want everything tournament restraint, like to the T. No gold cards from the tournament decks that came out back in the day. No proxies. No supplemental things. You want to play this tournament, you need to have that cardboard that exists in that deck.
Exactly, but then it also makes me think back to one of the Crazy 8 things at Paradox, where we were doing a commander.
Yeah.
And somebody one of the guys in the final pod just fucking freaked his shit out because a guy had a proxy in his deck. It was a placeholder card because it was a more expensive card.
It was like
for
a
all I
Skull
remember,
card, wasn't it?
No, for all I remember, it was a Phyrexian Altar. For all I remember.
I think it was a Skull Card. It was just a fetch land.
Whatever it was.
But
it was a more expensive card that maybe you don't have all the copies of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He was able to produce the copy right away going, I have the card, it's just a placeholder because I obviously have enough decks.
Right.
This guy freaked out and called the judge and he's like, he's got a proxy in the deck. And the rest of us around the table went, do you have the card? Yeah, I got it right here. Showed us, like within 30 seconds. I was like, okay, whatever.
Right.
Like,
what's like if I ever played Mox Diamond? Like, I'm not gonna play with Mox Diamond. One, it's graded, so I can't play it literally.
Yep.
And even if it wasn't, it's like
Well, at that point, you sit there and just go, I've got a card here that's not going actually in the deck, but it's here, and this is meant to be in the deck.
I'm just gonna carry around my slabs.
Yeah.
Real quick.
There are some people that do.
No, I
There
get
was
it.
a slab game on YouTube.
The most expensive commander game.
Yeah. But
What were the decks fucking?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Aaron
because they're all
Hansen.
slabbed.
And Aaron Hansen almost knocked the entirety of all of them over.
I thought it was Voxy.
She also almost did too.
But yeah, I don't know. This is like, I feel for the people that took the time to spend money, but at the end of the day, if you're going to call it a staple, it should be more accessible.
It's not even that. I don't think it's really about the staple. It's my big thing about it was the fact that it's a card that was literally created for Commander.
Well, and that's the thing is like,
and then the RC's like, you know what, we're gonna ban it.
Well, and that's the hard part is like, it'd be one thing if it was made for Commander and it was banned, like Nadu was. It came out at the beginning of the summer and it's banned now. That would have probably pissed me off a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
It's been 4 years.
Yeah, but it's still the fact that it's like, hey.
Oh no, I'm not trying to discredit the fact that it's a made for Commander card that got banned, and it's only relevant in Commander. Like, it can be used in Legacy, but you have to go through a lot of hoops to make it usable. But I don't know. It's one of those things where it's just.
Well, and it's also funny when they say it's can't be interacted early in the game. Okay, it's usually a one-time use unless your deck is literally graveyard recursion.
But depending on the commander itself that it's being used for,
well, another
it
thing
could change
too,
a big thing.
Well, the other thing too is the arguments that were made on why the mana rocks were banned specifically too was the idea behind trying to slow down gameplay a bit more, and that these are both 2/0 mana rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, one has the downfall of it's tied to only used for your commander for monocolor.
Yep.
And the other one being that it is 2 colorless mana, and it also pings or bolts you if you lose a flip, so it actually integrates into another realm. But the idea was like they wanted to, of course, slow down everything, in the sense of like for diplomatic issues of like speed games and stuff, and like diplomatic into like not so much the CDH world, but like the idea of like they said about the stronger commanders at that level of being between the 3 to 5 mana range. Like the idea of like great example I always think of, I think about a lot with this one is like even in a non CDH form, like having the ability to like turn 1 in Urza, Lord High Artificer, like that is like fucking rough to deal with, because that's not something you joke about in the sense of like, oh, that's not that big a deal to fight. It's like you'd have to have the exact kill spell. Now, granted, in a game of CD or in a game of Commander, like it's like we always talk about as our group and in groups we play with and stuff is like when someone plays something that no one likes at the table, like Infect or Mill, or or someone comes in with something that's just too much. Like the idea is then as for the casual play group, of course, is like you should then hyper focus that one to either hold them back or you take them out because you know how dangerous they are.
Matt.
But even
Anthony.
Well, it used to be Matt.
Well, just saying it happens to be that way. But more importantly, that's their focus on what they really want to take with it. Now, I would totally be on the side of agreeing with that, but that would have to be, you would need to show me realistic data gathered from multiple play groups that are not your specific play groups you've seen, like actual community data showing that you see this on turn 1, turn 2 consistently at a high rate. And that's my issue that I would definitely argue to counter the whole thing of their thought process, and not even putting the money with it. Like, just take the money out of it, and like taking in the idea of like the way they described these 2 mana rocks when I was reading a lot of this articles and like extra stuff coming out and everything else. I was like, they're describing it like this happens all the time, that someone always has Jeweled Lotus on turn 1 or 2, always has Mana Crypt on turn 1 or 2. I mean, you guys have played with me in my Tezzeret deck, and have you ever seen me where I actually have had a Mana Crypt on turn fucking 1 right away? Maybe once. Otherwise, I'm always searching for it. I'm always digging to find something.
Right.
I mean, the likelihood of me as myself having that, it's like, it's so low. I mean, like, you have a higher chance, I swear to God, that you see people have a Soul Ring on turn 1 or 2.
But here's the downside. Like, a lot of people too are going, well, if you're banning this, why are you banning Soul Ring finally?
Yep. But they're not going to.
And honestly,
I don't think they should.
No.
Because
they've always stated they're not.
And here's the thing.
But that's the argument people want to say. Like, why wouldn't you
Soul
then
Ring
too?
costs mana to get out.
Yeah.
Whereas these other, like, I can see the argument for not banning Soul Ring and banning these 2.
Yeah.
Because Soul Ring, you pay the 1, you get it out. Yeah, it jumps you a little bit further in the mana world. Because then, too, maybe you can get a Signet. Maybe you can get a Talisman out as well.
Right.
Yeah.
On turn 1. But then, generally speaking, you can't really do too much else that turn 1.
Yeah.
Not unless your deck's designed to be that way. But then again, if you're glass canning, I mean, you're going to be dead sooner than.
But at the same time, here's a real, like, I'm thinking back to any time I've watched on game nights, I've watched on us playing with Saturday night
Commander versus
things, Commander versus. I think I count more times than not. I see somebody do a turn 1 Soul Ring into a Signet. They end up sitting there turtling.
Yeah, because they're down to 4 cards.
Yeah, and there's not much you can do after that. Whereas, the same could be said about Jeweled Lotus and
Mana Crypt.
But you're not spending mana to get them out there.
No, and that's 100% agreeable. Like I said, I agree with that. I'm just saying, like, the way they talked about it is the part that I counter argue, which is they described it like this is happening all the time, and people are upset by it and stuff, and this is the problem in the communities and this. I'm like, I don't think that's really real. I don't believe that. I feel like that's just a smoke and mirrors thing to justify why you banned it.
But at the same time, let's think about how we play Commander, how Danny and I play Commander, how Danny, Matt, and I play Commander.
Hey. My goal in Commander, to be honest, is to bring people together. Okay,
spirit of the format.
As
in
the
what?
Arch, as the arch
in
enemy.
what? Sitting here going, fucking Christ, why are we all staring at him playing with himself?
As the arch enemy.
Normally, I have to pay an OnlyFans subscription to watch somebody his size play with himself.
I give it for free, so don't be mad about it.
Anyway, but in realistic terms, like a lot of the people are playing casual. This is a casual format. Yes. It is not played on the Pro Tour. It's
not sanctioned.
It's not sanctioned. Yes, there are tournaments that get played for it at LGSs, but nothing is officially sanctioned through WotC.
Yes.
If you're really pissing and moaning about this, as far as the cards themselves being banned, taking the value piece of it completely out of the equation, there's this handy little thing called Rule 0.
Yep. And that goes back to them stating that Rule 0 is no longer being used.
And here's the thing. In my Angel deck, I very much could put Iona back and go, guys, are you okay with me playing Iona in this? Yes or no? Nope. Okay, cool. I have a card to flip out.
Or yes, it's not a big deal.
But like I said in our Discord, how I build my commander decks, I do follow the ban list. So that way, in a hypothetical world, I get put into a tournament and I go, okay, cool. I know my deck's good to go.
Right. It's yeah, I don't know.
Matt's got a thought.
So when everybody wants to play Commander, like the base rules of playing
Take
Commander.
your finger down now.
Playing Commander, it's like you need the base rules and stuff like that. Recently, not too long ago, Commander, they thrive on not thrive. They are built on the foundation of their Commander philosophy, which is what they are emphasizing and constructing everything going on here with their the bans. Like it's a big emphasis of their reason for this, and it's quoted here from their website. Commander is not a traditional format of Magic the Gathering, where other formats are managed to create an environment where continuous improvements and zero-sum gameplay are desirable and incentivized. Commander offers an environment where those goals are not the only things to aspire to. The Commander Rules Committee decisions are informed by a gameplay philosophy that is expressed and reinforced by the rules and ban list. The philosophy is defined by 3 principles. Social. Commander is social. Each game is a journey that players share, where every player is considerate of the experiences of everyone involved. Learn to read, Matt.
Anthony, are you taking notes on this one?
Magic is a competition in the same sense that all games are a competition. But whenever the act of competing comes into conflict with the social atmosphere, Commander prioritizes and protects the social atmosphere. Format management decisions are intended for encouraging positive communal experiences that where people can bond over the shared experience of gaming and help players communicate their preferences and arrive at a shared set of expectations.
That doesn't describe Arc Enemy at all. I don't know what you're talking about.
The second principle, creative. Commander is a format of creative expression. It's a format where players can use nearly the entire catalog of Magic's history to build decks rooted in lore, showcase art, or telling stories. It is also a place where players engage with mechanical aspects of the cards, like a puzzle, discovering a novel, or enticing configurations as they explore. Format management decisions are intended to promote the environment where players are not pressured to conform to specific methods of deck building. Note that one. Maximize the availability of card pool. Incorporate a new official Magic content into the format as it's created. That's a little tinfoil hat comeback. Remind me if I forget about to comment on that. Third principle, stable. Commander is stable. Commander players become emotionally invested in their decks through play and personalization, and that bond is an important part of their experience. Players who build Commander decks should be confident that they will be able to play with them over long periods of time. Format management decisions are intended to, when necessary, make changes, even large ones, but not for the purpose of defining a metagame, quote-unquote, shaking things up, or in reaction to a hot topic of the day, and to minimize the changes that require players to actively maintain their decks. The role of the Commander's Rules Committee is to preserve these principles when they come in conflict with the goals and the philosophies and balance them each other where a possible decision requires prioritization. So, the social aspect, everybody can agree. The tumultuousness of these bands kind of goes against the social aspects there a little bit, where it's like
a little bit.
I'm not okay. So I want to say I'm not like rules committee sympathizing here. I'm trying to get into the heads of the rules committee because they were looking at this document, deciding to make these changes, and they were using that as a decision point for that, and like using this as the guideline for them to go through. It's like, okay, well, it kind of falls into there on some of these takes and some of them not, and stuff. But
yeah, but at the same time, like obviously, just like the law, everything is up for interpretation.
True.
Whatever benefits them.
Yes.
And what was your
yes
thing you
and
wanted
no.
to go back to there, Matt?
Oh, in
the second part about creation.
Okay, in creative, promote an environment where players are not pressured to conform to any specific method on deck building. How often do we all hear, you got to play XYZ card, otherwise your deck is not it? That's
where I feel a lot of
Well, you got to put a Soul Ring in.
You got to put a jewel. Yeah, well, okay. We'll come on the jewel. Should we comment on the Soul Ring bit right here as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's the way it goes.
Let's swing over to, was it, where did I have the page pulled up? I don't think it's on that one. I think it's on, oh no, it is on this one. Having so many screens, yes. So, directed from their September article here, it said, we should also talk about the elephant in the room. We're not banning Soul Ring.
Not doing it, but the wording is really.
We have no desire to. Yes, based on the criteria we have talked about here, it would be banned. Bold. Shout that from the rooftops. It would be banned. Soul Ring is the iconic card of the format, and it's sufficiently tied to the identity of the format that it defines the laws of physics in a way that no other card does. Banning Soul Ring would be fundamentally changing the identity of the format. We're not trying to eliminate all explosive starts. It happening every once in a while is exciting, and removing the other 3 cards geometrically reduces the number of hands capable of substantial above mana curve generation in the first few turns. It was mentioned a little at another point in one of those articles, like the 5 drops is the scary spot for. Scary is a little overemphasis on that. The point of concern, the mana of concern, doing a 5-drop thing on turn 2. Mana Crypt gets you there, Jewel Lotus gets you there, Soul Ring gets you there, because it's like Soul Ring, Talisman, Signet, etc. Mana Crypts and any 2-drop rock and stuff. The Soul Ring argument, it would be banned, folks. Just understand, it would be banned. But bizarrely enough, the fact that it is ingrained into the format, quote unquote ingrained, was it ingrained? Integrated. It's the identity of the format. That it defies the laws for it. But going back to the other cards there of what they were talking about in the creative expression, everyone's like, you got to put these kind of cards in your deck. So you could see from that angle that was like definitely a tick against Mana Crypt, Jewel Lotus, and even going to the fact of like, the proxy players and stuff. It's like even proxy players we're still printing them out so that way they can have them in their deck just to keep up. What's that term of arms race?
Keeping up with the Joneses.
There we go.
Yep.
But here's the thing too, I think that's part of the reason too why I'm probably not in the pissed off category of this banning. I had 2 copies, 1 copy of each of two of the 4 cards that got banned. Don't necessarily need them in the decks.
Well, sir, you have no right to be mad because you don't have the 10, 12 copies of each.
You
don't have skin in the game.
You're exactly right. I don't have skin in the game to be upset, but as a person in the community playing, clearly, just like anything, any other card that is you got to run that in the deck. Found ways to not have to run the cards in the deck.
And sometimes
it does just fine.
Sometimes you find something cooler to run.
Exactly. So I think the bannings did adhere to those 3 philosophies because, I'm sorry, but a turn 1 win or turn 2 win for somebody doesn't really make it all that social for me. Yeah, I can potentially get more games of Commander in, but if I'm playing the same deck against the same deck, I'm not going to want to continue to play it.
That's true.
Okay, the creativity side of it, it's forcing people to find different cards to do. And what was the third one again? Creativity.
Social creativity and
stable.
Keeping a stable format.
Seems pretty
stable investment.
I don't know. I think it's fine.
2 things here I want to highlight. There was conversation that happened earlier this week that helped me kind of shift my mindset on CEDH, specifically because the CEDH conversation comes up a lot because of this. CEDH is not seen as a format and stuff, but it's the meta game because they are under the constraints of the RC still. They got to play with the cards. Competitive or CEDH is metagame of Commander is just high octane. And it's like, okay, like I can understand that. And something from understanding CEDH is like a meta game to like separate them. I guess that's more of it, is like separating Commander from CEDH is like that's meta game and stuff. I can understand, players are definitely going to be wanting to do branch off, as there has been attempts right now of making a CEDH format with its own ban list that doesn't adhere to the RC and stuff.
Yeah, and that's the way. That's fine. I think that's the way it should be. I mean, that's something where, you can have it that way. Then that's perfect.
But then at the same time too, like seeing conversations of that, a lot of people are like, it should be a community decision of what cards get banned and what cards don't. Yeah, because we have a whole community bitching and moaning about 5 people's decision to ban cards to the point of people getting death threats over a fucking card game.
Don't be a jerk. Don't fucking threaten people.
Yeah.
You're a fucking douchebag if you do that.
That's very true.
Check yourself.
We think anything will get done if it becomes a community of vote.
No.
We have a very good example of how more voices don't mean shit gets done. And that's called the United States government.
Pew pew. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I can do the takeaway for this on every side, because I'm one of the people that have been affected in a sense by this, from like we talked about. So this summer, I decided to buy a Mana Crypt because I wanted one for a certain deck, and then of course I traded with you for one because I was like, I don't need a lot of these. I only wanted 2. I wanted one for my Artifact deck, and I wanted one for my Eldrazi deck. So I'm like, I play big things. I just want to ramp up into those things. Perspectively, and I pulled a Jeweled Lotus from one of my packs I bought at one point in time, so I'm not upset about that part. And same with the Dockside Extortionists. I have 2 of those that I pulled from packs, so I didn't buy them. So I'm not gonna complain. In a financial sense, did I make the worst decisions ever? No, I didn't see it coming, but it happens. And the only thing I could say is instead of the money I spent on that one Mana Crypt, I could have spent for a couple more cards instead. Okay.
Hindsight's always 20/20.
Yeah, hindsight's always 20/20. But as much as to me, like I said, the 2 things that upset me the most is that it's the financial impact is it's a big thing. It's not something we scoff at, but that's a thing that's real. And then the other part of it being the explanation behind gameplay state and everything else. Me though, personally, and how I feel about the banning, I think it's to the extent of creatures, great choice, fine. The Mana Rocks, didn't like it, I'll get over it, whatever. Rule 0's there too to still play with around, whatnot. But what I can take away that I do agree with is the thing that was mentioned in the part about stable. It's also the same thing that of people in the CDH community, Dylan and Cam talked about actually on their show, is that they talked about in a sense of how they kind of weren't happy about it, but the bigger thing is the shakeup is more important. And they also kind of mentioned, not to the extent of they said it directly, but the idea that paraphrasing that CDH had gotten to a point where it was stagnant because it was this, and this. With these pieces taken out now, you have a shakeup. So that's great. So I overall, yeah, I think it's bad on some perspective pieces, but my personal stance is I think it's fine. I think it's a needed thing. And then of course too, if we once again the same thing we always want to argue with WotC for their choices they make for the constructed formats that they take care of all the time, is be very hyper vigilant on shifting your bans and unbans around appropriately is the biggest thing. That's all it is. But that's all I got for it.
Danny, what are your takeaways? This is your realm, man.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering why it took them 30 years to ban Mana Crypt. If it's such a big problem.
Well, first off, let's put context on Mana Crypt here. Understand, Mana Crypt was first printed as a book card, right? It was in a magazine or whatever. with no format in mind. EDH was not even like a twinkle in Sheldon Menery's eye at the time.
100%, I understand that, but it was just kind of the comical relief. It's like,
if you're looking for when Commander started, it'd be 2009, 2010.
Yeah.
Anthony.
Thanks.
So 15 years.
I just want to verify.
15 years it took them to ban Mana Crypt out of the format. If it was such a huge issue, why didn't they ban this before?
So my thought on some of this stuff is the influx of players that we've had in Magic since even our time of starting.
It's because of COVID is why.
Huge. Yeah. And so more eyes are doing this and more content creators, play to win, game nights,
right.
Commander at home, when they talk about this kind of stuff, then because they want to be involved in Commander, it's like, oh, they're talking about these cards. Let's get these cards. And then you have Mana Crypt, which was a book card for a long time until they started reprinting it. And it just became a high value, hot ticket kind of thing at that point. And Jeweled Lotus, an enigma on its own of being a print to Commander, but then being banned in Commander. And can we take a fun little side note here real quick with Nadu? We haven't talked a lot and shit on Nadu. There was an article talking about, like, it got banned in Modern. Okay? Yes. Yep. Now it's banned in Commander. The fun thing about that is Nadu was good for Modern on the first flush of it. So how the process of Nadu got created is they play tested it. They had, like, the final thing. And Modern was like, yes, we like this card. It's going to be good. Then the Modern testers got sent home. The card then got moved to the Commander play group. They're like, this is going to be too broken because like it resembled close to not Seaborn Muse, Prophet of Crufix. Like doing that, it's like a build your own Prophet of Crufix, and the Commander group was like, no, it's going to wreck the format. So then I can't remember the name, but the lead designer of Modern Horizons 3, when they made it, it was just like, okay, just redo it. And it was too late in the process to have anybody test the card, and that's how it kind of got broke. Card, good in Modern, then got tweaked to be better in Commander, broke both formats. Didn't break Commander, but it was really good in Commander. So broke Modern.
It just became the new Kinnan, pretty much.
So that's a little side note that I wanted to put on that. But back to, as you had your finger on your nose, was that intentional, or were you just sitting there admiring me with, digging for gold?
Stitch my nose.
Oh, okay. My bad. I saw you there and stuff.
He was mocking you.
Fucking nose.
No, I think it's just also, too, we're probably at this point beating a dead horse.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
That poor Crescent Sunmare beaten to death.
But anyway, after these announcements had been posted, we actually have a couple other announcements. I don't know if you've been aware, watching Twitter or not, but we do have 2 members of the CAG community have left the group.
Yep.
First up,
quick thing. CAG, for everybody that knows to differentiate here. Rules Committee, group of 5 people that make all the rules. CAG, an advisory group of 13 people at the time that the RC talked to because they were like boots on the ground for everybody in the community because they were spread around the world, the CAG was. And then they helped relay information to the RC.
CAG is basically just the representatives at large.
Josh Lee Kwai, Rachel Weeks, Rachel Agnes, Benjamin Wheeler.
I literally just have this up.
Anyways, as you were saying, like, you can find it online.
Yeah.
I just wanted to put, layer it out so that way people knew where we're coming here. CAG is not Rules Committee. Rules Committee is their own thing. They sometimes listen. And as we heard in there, the Rules Committee did not...
sometimes listen to his keywords.
Also, here, real quick thing, before the CAG announcement, the last banning was 3 years ago from the RC for Commander.
Right.
And that was Golos.
Yep.
And the unbanning of Worldfire.
And so they don't just willy-nilly ban shit. They
hyper-focus.
They hyper-focus on things.
They do what they're supposed to.
They have also acknowledged, like, if I'm not mistaken, I think Dockside Extortionists in a few different, like, quarterly updates, because that's one thing that the RC did, quarterly updates. They always like, hey, we're still keeping an eye on X, Y, and Z in here. And Dockside Extortionists was one that got talked on.
Yeah. So.
Needless to say, everybody's perfectly fine with that. I don't think that one is the one that really fucking sucked. The fact is,
it's
a $90 card still for Dockside. Now it's like $20 or whatever and shit.
So anyway, CAG.
So anyways, one of the big guys known for on the CAG was Josh Lee Kwai. Has effectively immediately been just resigned. There really is no explanation as to why. There's been a lot of speculation on the fact that the RC was not transparent about this. Josh Quiet on, I believe, his podcast with Christian mentioned that there was no announcement. Apparently, the RC posted this ban in their Discord, their private Discord, on Friday, and they didn't post or tag anyone in this post. So, and then Josh was gone out of wherever, but he didn't see it until Monday when it was finally posted live. And it's like, why didn't you tag anyone in this post? There was no talk from the RC to the CAG. I'm assuming this is why he's just fed up with the lack of communication between the two.
Yeah.
And then moving along, Kristen Gregory, head author for Card Kingdom, has resigned from CAG 2. I'm assuming it's probably the same reason.
Completely fair. Again, we can only speculate, but it does, we can definitely see that the lack of talking to the boots on the ground people of when the CAG was only founded 5 years ago, pre-COVID, just barely pre-COVID and stuff.
Yep.
And like their whole job description, their whole title was to help talk with the RC, and the RC is like making big decisions, and they're like, nah, secret.
Yep.
Don't blame them. If that is the case, again, speculation on if that is the case. All we know for a fact, both of them resigned.
Yeah.
And as of tonight still, Saturday the 28th, we don't know if they're going to fill those spots. And maybe this is going to put a big fracture in the CAG.
My guess is no, because Sheldon was in charge of it. Sheldon was the one who appointed all these people, so I'm assuming no.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if the CAG just dissolved.
Well, stick tuned to the podcast when that happens, if that happens.
So.
Yeah.
That'll probably be a light news week.
or if the CAG just turns into a CDH RC.
Yeah, good.
There's been speculation that that's going to happen too. So,
if that happens, that'll be exciting. Stick tuned to This Week in MTG when we cover that news if it happens. Most likely not on a Thoughtcasty kind of week, but on a actual news week, the bi-monthly.
Hey,
I got it right.
Good job, Matt.
Proud of you.
But yeah, that was Thoughtcast.
Hell yeah.
There's a reason why I held this off, because we've been talking for 52 minutes about this.
Exactly.
So instead of having a 2-hour podcast, we split it in half, an hour.
Right.
So,
all
but
right.
yeah. So hit our Discord if you want to talk more. Otherwise,
hit the Discord. I got tinfoil hat theories. Love to talk about.
You are a tinfoil hat.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right.
But
See you
anyways,
later.
we're gonna raid out.
We're gonna raid out.
Yeah, always raid out.
Always be
Always.
raiding.
Always be raiding.
You raiding out to Sweaty?
Yes.
Doing it on your phone. You just boop, straight up, boop.
Nice. And also,
86 seconds is when it goes.
remember to refresh once you get to his stream so you can count towards his viewers.
Refresh on.
Like when you raid in, just hit refresh so it counts for his viewership. If that makes sense.
Like refresh on what?
Like once your raid goes
Yes.
on your browser. Like this is not going to show because it's not the browser.
I'm not in the browser.
But I'm just saying like that's
So you want me to get in the browser?
for the viewers. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
For those who are raiding with you.
Okay. We're gonna go over to Sweaty Pedals, who is traveling across Western United States right now, going up to Washington. You said
Yes.
going up to Washington for a vacation. What's his whole goal? Just because?
Well,
He bought a fucking RV, a bus.
yeah, he's viewing or he's going to all his mods and VIPs.
There we go. So go say hi. Let him know. He's cool shit. And we'll catch you guys another time.
See ya. Adios.
Adios, muchacho.
This week in MTG, and we're up to 12. Yo, let's go. Thank you, off grid. Are we? Oh, we got 15. Yo, this week in MTG, thank you so much for the raid. That's Sweaty Professor Oak's podcast, y'all. It's a Magic the Gathering podcast.
He doesn't know you guys, so
Yeah, we know.
Alright. Let's see chat, but I don't even know what my house is like right now.
No, fair.
sleeping.
Fire, fire.
Last I heard, there's still 2-year-old awake.
Oh.
Oof.
Oh, hold on. Before you go. Everybody here. Exciting news. Maddie's pregnant.
Yay! Congratulations, dude.
Yeah. I was going to tell you sooner. I'm like, everybody's coming here. And this night. She would eat me alive if I did not tell you guys tonight. So, just wanted you-
I'm gonna tell Maddie next time. It's like, hey, you didn't tell me.
Hey, Maddie, anything new in your world?
Yeah. Anything new going on? Didn't know.
Haven't seen you in a while. I haven't said shit about you.
Okay. But you guys now know, and my life is spared. Thank you.
Fuck yeah, man. Congratulations.
Rough due day. End of May.
So, automatic Godfather for my birthday.
We can make it happen.
Okay.
Fuck you.
There you go.
It's the same thing with Brady. He's like, if we have a son on my birthday, he's automatically becoming a junior. Automatically.
100%. Fair enough. We were... Fun thing with Hawthorne, he was supposed to be Cypress if he was born on November 27th, which is when he was born. But I bogarted that. I'm like, no, Hawthorne is way better than Cypress. He's going to get bullied.
Y'all go show some love to this week in MTG. If you don't know who Sweaty Professor Oak is, Sweaty Professor Oak called himself the stream savior for a long time because both this subathon and the other subathon.
Stream savior.
Well, it's true because, well, at subathon, you'd get on like 12 seconds. So it's like, hey, $20 here. You get up to a couple hours and you're not stressing. And then usually you just jump back up to 40 some hours.
There you go.
Bless the stream savior. Okay. Peace out.
Deuces.